Picture this: a world cooling down, landscapes shifting, and life on the brink of a new era. We're stepping back in time, not to the age of dinosaurs, but to a chapter much closer to home, the Pliocene Epoch, spanning from about 5.3 to 2.6 million years ago. This wasn't just another period in Earth's long history, it was the dress rehearsal for the world we know today, and a pivotal moment for our own ancestors. So, what did the Pliocene world look like? Imagine the thermostat of the planet slowly being turned down. After the balmy Miocene, things started to get chillier. This cooling had a huge impact, especially at the poles, where ice began to accumulate, locking up water and setting the stage for the great ice ages to come. This wasn't a deep freeze just yet, but it introduced more distinct seasons, changing the rules for life across the globe. One of the most dramatic changes happened on land. As the climate became drier and cooler, vast forests began to retreat, making way for something new: expansive grasslands and savannas. Think of the sweeping plains of modern Africa, and you're getting the right idea. This new open environment was a game-changer for mammals. It became a kingdom for grazers. Creatures that could thrive on tough grasses had a massive advantage. This is when the ancestors of modern horses, with their long legs built for running across open plains, really hit their stride. Herds of ancient antelopes, camels, and early elephants roamed these grasslands. Speaking of elephants, they were incredibly diverse, with some sporting 4 tusks. This explosion of herbivores, of course, meant a buffet for predators. Saber-toothed cats, like the famous Smilodon, weren't the only hunters on the prowl. There were also giant hyenas and bear dogs that adapted their hunting strategies for these wide-open spaces, relying on speed and stamina to catch their prey. But not everywhere turned to grass. Near the equator, lush tropical forests persisted, providing a haven for animals that lived in the trees. Primates continued to evolve in these leafy canopies, and it's here, in the forests and woodlands of Africa, that the most significant story of the Pliocene unfolds. This was the era of the hominins. Our early ancestors, like the famous Australopithecus afarensis, Lucy, were walking the earth. They were adapting to a life that straddled the woodlands and the expanding savannas, taking their first crucial upright steps and paving the way for the entire human lineage. Meanwhile, the oceans were also buzzing with life. The marine world was starting to look very modern. Whales and seals, having already returned to the water millions of years earlier, were thriving and diversifying. This period saw the rise of massive predatory whales like Leviathan, a counterpart to the giant shark Megalodon, which also patrolled these Pliocene seas. Many of the fish, shark, and mollusk families we see today were becoming well established. Beneath the surface and across the land, the planet itself was in motion. The continents were inching ever closer to their present-day positions. This tectonic tango had profound consequences. The collision of North and South America formed the Isthmus of Panama, a land bridge that changed ocean currents forever. This event not only allowed animals to migrate between the continents, an event called the Great American Interchange, but it also altered global climate patterns, contributing to the cooling trend. Mountain ranges like the Himalayas and the Rockies continued their slow, powerful ascent, further influencing weather systems and creating new habitats. In essence, the Pliocene was a critical bridge in Earth's history. It was a time of transition, where the ancient world gave way to a more familiar one. It was a period of adaptation, where life responded to a cooling planet and changing landscapes, from the smallest rodent to the largest whale. Most importantly, it was the epoch that saw our own distant relatives take their first bold steps out onto the savanna, beginning a journey that would ultimately lead to us. The stage was set, the players were in position, and the curtain was about to rise on the next great act, the ice ages of the Quaternary. Thanks for joining us on this journey back to the Pliocene. If you enjoyed this glimpse into our planet's past, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe, and ring the bell so you won't miss our next adventure through time. See you in the next video.